Okay, so we today will talk about process automation. What is process automation? Process automation is an automatic way of firing logic or doing something, right? Instead of clicking a button, I want to do some things automatically. Can I do that in Salesforce? Of course, I can do that in Salesforce. Do I need to write code for it? Do I need to program for it? No, I do not need to program for it. Okay. So what are the drag and drop mechanism possible in which Salesforce allows you to do some things automatically, which might be logical. You don't do, you want to create a very good experience for your users, right? Sales representatives or service representatives do many things automatically for them so that they can spend their more time on their business rather than spending more time on the software. Okay. So what are the different ways in which I can automate processes? The first mechanism is called workflow. Workflow is a mechanism which is the oldest mechanism through which we can automate things. What can I do in a workflow? I can send mail. I can create a task. I can update a field, and I can send some values outside of Salesforce. This is called integration. Okay, send mail, create task, update field outside of message is called outbound message. Outbound message. We can do only this kind of 4 things in workflow. Workflow fires after the save button has happened on that record. Okay. So workflow can fire when you are creating a record or you are editing a record, right? Create or edit. The next mechanism is called process builder or processes, using process builder. In process builder, you can do all these activities and many more, like creating of record, calling code, and many more things. We'll see that in details. So whatever the limitations was there in workflow, this is been overcome by process builders. This is also after save, and it can be fired on create or edit. Third is flow. Flow is far superior than workflow and process builder. Salesforce has just announced that workflow and process builder will be soon retired, and we will only be using flows. So you have to understand flows very well. Within 1 or 2 years, the workflow and process builders will not be able to, you will not be able to create it. So the only way of automating would be flows. Flows, you can do everything, almost everything what you can do with processes. And it can fire before saving plus after save. You see this? This is after save, but this again gives you both options, before and after save, right? And it also gives you the ability to create, show some screens. If you need some screens, you can do that. UI, flows gives you screens. Workflow does not have screen, process builder does not have screens. Screens is only available in flows. And last is approval process. Approval process is basically a step-by-step mechanism through which you can submit a record for approval. Then you can either approve or reject. And based on approval or reject, you can do exactly these 4 things, just like what you used to do in workflow. Approval process is manual button click. You can automate it automatically also, but for that you need to either use a flow or use a process builder, or you have to use a code to do that, to automatically put a record for approval. Any questions on this 4? We will discuss these 4 today. These are the drag and drop mechanism without writing any code, how to automate things, right? Please remember, workflows and process builders are just for this class, but you should know about it because this will be there for some time. But eventually we have to migrate to flows. All these workflows, whatever or process builder, if you write today, you have to convert them to flows later. So the suggestion is to always write a flow, because whatever you can do in flows, always try to do in flows. Okay, so let's see how this works in Salesforce. First, we will create a workflow. What will the workflow do? Workflow does whatever we will try to do everything. These are workflows. You see, these are the 4 things you can do: tasks, email alerts, field updates, outbound messages. New rule. So on account creation, I want to send a mail to my owner that account is created. New account is created. Okay. And so I will fire this on created. If I fire this created and every time it is edited, then means this workflow rule will fire every time the record button or save button is clicked. If I use this created and anytime it is edited to subsequent meet criteria, that means whatever criteria I am putting it here, maybe account is active equals, yes, I want this workflow to fire on a criteria that new active account is created. Okay, I want to tell my creator that this account has been created, or let me choose this is owned new account is active. If I change this criteria, what is this now? It means if the account, when I create, I give this field active is equal to yes, then it will fire. If I create, I do not give active is equal to true, this will not fire. If I edit and I make the active is equal to true, then this will fire. If I edit again, do not make any changes to active, it will not fire, because it will only fire once. Because if active status changes to this criteria, then only this will fire. That is what it is meant here. So it will always fire only once. Every time you hit a save button, it will not fire because the active has not changed. But if you make it inactive and again make it active, in that case, this workflow will again fire. Any confusion, guys? This is very important to understand. What is this option and what is this option? This option will only fire once if the criteria is met. Okay. If the criteria is again made not met, and then again it is met again, then it will again fire. Okay. So you have to change this active to a different value, and then make again this value, then only it will fire. Otherwise, it will not fire. It will only fire once. Okay. What are the actions I can create? I can create a task, assign to maybe myself. What is the subject? Need to call this guy after 3 days. Due date, maybe account created date plus 3 days. Yeah, priority is high. What I am doing, I am creating a task that is a call, need to call this guy after 3 days of creation of the accounts. This is automatic task I am assigning to myself. Second, I am for sending an email. For sending any kind of email in Salesforce, you have to create an email template to tell what will be there in the body. Okay. So you go, there are 2 types of email template, classic or lightning. I'm using the classic one, which is easier. You can use the lightning also. A text template. You can have HTML, other forms also. These are for complicated messages. So what I'm doing, I will go and choose the account fields. Why? Because I want to dynamically make this name field available in my email body. Every account will be different, right? Which will be firing this mail. So I want account this is active. Something of that should come in the body. Because hi, account this is active and assigned to you. This is a mail I want to send to people. Here, this value will keep on changing, right? This is a smart tag. This I am creating from this. This is the copy merge field. I will use it, and wherever in the subject or email body, if I use it, it will be automatically replaced by Salesforce when the actual mail is sent. Why I am using account? Because this mail is going out in the account, right? So available for use should be set to true. Otherwise, this email will not be able to, you will not be able to use this. Please remember, this is the active. I will go to my workflow again. This is my workflow. I edit it. Okay, edit this fields. So now I will create an email alert. I will say active email. Email template which I will use. I just created active true. Whom I want to send? Account owner. Right? And that's it. Done. 2 actions I have already created. What are the third action? Outbound message is to send some values outside of Salesforce. Okay. For that, you have to have a service ready. I am not making this right now. It's an advanced topic, but it's quite easy. If you say that outbound message, you can set like a integration point will be given to you by somebody, and then you can send whatever information you want to send to that system of that account fields, right? You can select the fields, and that's it. Yeah, very easy. But for that, you have to do a lot of process. I will tell that later. So, and field update, that is very important. Field update you can do on any fields on which this workflow is firing, or any field which is the parent master parent. Okay. If it is not a master parent, you will not be able to update the parent fields. Right now, account is itself, there is no parent for account. So I don't care. So maybe I put a description update. I say which field to update, maybe the description is a description. Next, what do I update? use a formula field. Here I will say colon is account is active. If you want to automatically set some value in any field, you can do this. Done. And activate. Let us test this. So I will go back to my sales application. Let's create an account. I will make this active, then only it will fire, otherwise not. That is the criteria, right? You see, I have created automatically a task got created for me. Need to call. Yeah. And when I have to call, you see, due date is 29. Okay, 3 days from today's date, because I have given added 3. And if you see the details, description field is automatically been active. This account is active. It is automatically filled up. Okay. And what happened? Did I get a mail? I get a mail. Account workload test is active and assigned. Easy. Okay. Now what I will do? This is how a workflow works. All the 3 steps we have assigned. Outbound message we have skipped because that is talking to systems outside of Salesforce. Now let us see what can we do with a process builder. If you see process automation, right? We talked about it. Process automation has everything. You see, workflow is here, process builder is here, flows is here, approval process is here. All the full things are already there, and related things are also there. So I will go one way. Let's start the process. So what we could not do in workflow is to create records, right? We can create tasks, but that's it. We cannot create any record. We can do field updates, but we cannot create new records. Let me create some auto contact, automatic contact. Why not? So when the record changes, same. So this is a process builder screen. This is a canvas wherein this is start, and then I add which object on which this process builder will fire. Account object, right? Same thing, you see, only when a record is created, or edited. Let's put when record is created and edited. Okay. Let's save it. Criteria, same. Active is active. So what is the field I want to check? I want to check active field. Is active field equals to tick list value? Yes, right? Save it. Only one condition. I don't need a edit as or. So active condition is now checked. Now let us do my actions. You see, this is a plethora of actions which I can do. I can update record, submit for approval, same notification, quick actions. I can fire another process from a process builder. I can fire a flow from a process builder. I can send email alert, same. I can create a record, and I can fire code also. Let's create a record this time. And what is the auto contact? What is the record type I want to create? I want to create a contact. You see, this is the mandatory fields which has already come in. Last time is always mandatory, right? I can hard code a last name, but if I hard code a last name, if I give a static value, then all the contacts for all accounts will have the same last name. I don't want that, right? I want to change this. let me use a formula, build a formula. Which field I want to use from account? I want to use the name field. After that, I want to give a dash and I want to give a contact. So I will use the name field of account. I will put a dash and use a contact. This will go into my last name. First name, I will also put some value. This time I am hard coding auto. I also need to associate this new contact with the account which is firing this process, right? So this time I will use a field reference and I will basically put it in the ID field, account ID. So in contacts ID field, I'm putting the exactly the account which is firing it. It's account ID, right? Activate it. Let's see. Process test. Yes. What will happen? My workflow is still firing, right? So workflow is creating an activity. Workflow has updated the description. Workflow has also sent a new mail to me. That's process test is active and assigned to you. Apart from that, my process builder has also fired and created an auto contact. So where can I see this? If I go to my related list, I see this is a new contact which has automatically got created. How it has named? Auto is in the first name. The account name is this. This got created here, added hyphen, then contact. This is the last name part. That is exactly what it need. And the account part I also populated, right? 3 things. Any questions so far, guys? Very vital. Now we will move to, can we do the same thing in flows? How can I do this same thing in flows? Just go to setup and go to flows. In flow, I will also create a new contact from using a flow. Flows can be 5 types. Okay. What screen flow is the flow which you use to create screens. I will come to that. But the record triggered flow is something which we are going to use now. So we will discuss these two. These are advanced topics. I will not cover this right now. You can schedule a flow. That means at a night, at some time, you want to run a flow automatically, that you can do. Platform event is advanced topic. I will not discuss. This kind of flow you will create if you want to like launch this flow from another flow, or launch it from code, or launch it from somewhere else. So we'll discuss only these two. That is most critical. So record triggered flow is exactly what we need here, because I don't need a screen. I need automatic actions to be fired. So as I said, workflow and process builder both fires after the record is saved. But flows allows you to fire before or update both. So I choose the account object again. Here also I will give a criteria. Active equal to yes. Same. Here I can choose record creator updated. Yes, record creator updated. Do I need this to fire after the record is saved or before the record is saved? If I choose before, you cannot create a new record. Please remember this. Or delete a record. Okay. If you do an after it, then only you will get delete and create record options. Okay. Now, what I will do? I will do the same thing. I will create a record. What record? Auto contact. Here also. One record, right? Which kind of record? I can use all values from a record, or if I select this one, then use separate resources and literal values. I can select contact, and I can put the separate field names just like last name. What was the value? Record. This is the variable that Salesforce automatically gives us for the record which is firing this flow. Which record is firing the flow? Account. That's why it is mentioned here. So I can go to the record. I can take the last record name. You can type also here. So account name. So account name I have created. I can add hyphen and add contact, right? I said add field. Let's add the first name now. Here again, I will hard code value, right? So let's hard code auto loop. Third is account, right? Here, the record which is firing it, I want to take their ID. This is it. So dollar record is very crucial in this context. Are you getting this? Okay. So if I do a done and connect this, save, auto contact. Let's see in this in action. New field, flow test. This also needs active to be yes. So the workflow is still running. The process builder is also still running. This is creating the process builder. And you see, there are now two contacts that's got created because this was the, oh, did I give a auto test contact? Flow test. Oh, sorry, I gave the flow test name. So flow test name, that's why this was created because this is creating from the process builder, right? And this is getting created from your flow. I have put this quotations for you to understand, otherwise it will be exactly the same values. Okay, so how do I differentiate it? Let's differentiate it. Flow filter, let's go. Okay, this time I will modify this and show you some more features. This assignment is very critical, which makes your values a little easier to handle. If you go to this create record and put all the fields one by one, and you want basically this activity is used not only for one record, it can be multiple records also. So that is why we want to keep this clean. We don't want to necessarily fill this with values. So we use all values from this record. Here, it allows you to create a new resource. You can create new resource from here. You can create a new resource from here also. Same thing, no difference. So if I go there and change this to a new resource, and I will use a variable. What is a variable? Just like you are taking a shower, you can open the shower knob and the water can flow when you're taking a bath, right? You can go to your bathroom, you open the knob and the water is directly coming on your body. The other way is to fill a bucket with water and then like fill it on your body, right? There are two ways of doing it. So this variable is just like a bucket wherein you store the values temporarily, then you use it. So let's see my contact. This will be very important when you are working with multiple records, not only one record. Okay. So I will select a record, which kind of object I am creating a contact object. This is a temporary record I am creating. I can make it a collection also. Okay. I am not using it. I only need one. So now I am telling to use my variable, my bucket to create the contact, but the bucket is not yet filled up, right? So I have the assignment variable to fill up my bucket. I say create contact. Same wise, I will, instead of filling that individual fields, I will fill the values of this record. Here again, I will type flow auto. New assignment this time so that I can differentiate between the process builder flow and this flow. I will go and create last name because this is again a mandatory field. This time I will use the record variable, take the name field out of it, and I don't need to add plus sign and minus sign because it's not a formula. Okay, so name field hyphen flow contact. Okay. Third is account ID. So my contact hyphen. And here same, the record which is firing this flow, I use the ID field of that and associate to this because this flow is running on an account, right? Account record. So this is it. I have filled my bucket. I take my values to a bucket, and then from this bucket, I create the record. Instead of directly going to the record create, I am going via this and I activate it. Let's test this now. Okay. Test account. Active is yes. So the process builder is still firing. Process builder is creating this auto test contact. This was the process builder, but this is now the new flow contact. Flow auto test account hyphen flow contact. Okay, this is how a flow works. You can complicate this flow. I have a separate tutorial only for flow. I will also send this via video. Please go through that. I have detailed explained all this field, how to use it with a more complicated assignment. Okay, so use that. I will also assign 2 assignments to you to practice. You can take those assignments from Anshita and start practicing flows. Flows is very, very critical. Flow is very important for you to understand. Apart from that, you can also go to separate trailhead to go through some advanced trails of flows. This you should complete. So if you go to flow, use it build flows with flow builder. It should be a trail. Okay. Finish this one and build a simple flow. This is a project. Please finish this. This is also a trail. Automate your business process with Salesforce flow. Please finish these 3. Then your flow will be ready. If you are not very good with flows, you will struggle with velocity. So I want you guys to understand flows very, very well. And flow is very important for you to become a very good admin. So even if you learn velocity or not, it does not matter. Flow is absolutely critical for you to understand and learn. So give time to flows and do that. Okay. Once you get a hang about it, it will be very easy and you will enjoy writing flows. And it can go to very complicated level. You can also create screen flows. What is screen flows? Here you can drag and drop and create a screen. So I will create a screen. I will put a name. I have a name component. He will say contact details. Yeah, done. Invalid component. Contact. So here now I will create a record. You say create contact. So where will I get the record? In the screen flow, if you go down, in the advanced, you say you can use this value when the user last visit. You can manually assign these values to any kind of a variable. Yeah, from this, I will not do anything. This it's not required. So screen flow is done. Create record is required. I can create a record directly on contact. Same thing. If I do that, then I have to manually assign the value, first name. Where will I get it? From the screen component. Screen component has a first name, right? I will use it. There is a last name. Similarly, I will get it from the screen component, right? This is the screen. That's done. I do not have an account field, right? So I will put this is not automatically firing. This is firing. So this is the create contact screen, and I save it, and I say manual contact. So now I activate it. Manual contact if I create, then I have to use this in any screen. How do I change this screen? Do anybody knows it? If you go to this edit screen, this is the account screen, right? This is I want to change the account screen. So if I go to the account and you go to the edit page, you can go from here also, or you can directly go to object manager. You have to change the account, right? Go to account. Here you will get lightning record pages. How many? So I will create a new lightning record page. By default is not there, right? There are 3 different. I will create a record page. I can. It is not required if I directly go to and do this edit page, is automatically creates everything for me. So I will write. It is the easier way of doing it. If I do that, right now this will create the lightning page first time because I am editing the page. Otherwise, it's a default Salesforce. Here I can drag and drop a flow. And which flow do I need? The manual contact. Save. I can make this activated. When I activate it, asks me, do I need it to as a org default? That means everybody will see this. I can only make this applicable for the sales app. I can also make it applicable only for few profiles. Let's make it org default. It will be applicable for desktop and things. So if I go back now, if I go to the account object, now you will see account object will have a lightning page. Yeah, this is created now because I have created one. So now if I refresh this page, here you see manual contact, this flow has come in. So if I now create Will Smith, if I go to contact, Will Smith is created. But I have not associated to the account, right? It is just on the page. Get it? You can also add this or fire it from this actions. How? Let's go to the same page. I can override these actions by adding values here. Okay. This I can do that. Or I can fire but directly from my page. If I go to my page layouts, you see, I have to create a first new action. So let's try it. Create a new action. I will choose a flow. Manual contact is the flow. Let's name it my contact. Right? This is created. Now, if I go back to account and go to page layout, this is the layout I'm using. You see now quick actions. This is my contact is already created. Please remember, by default, if you are not overriding for actions, the actions which is there or the buttons which are there in Classic will automatically show up. But if you override, then you can add the new actions. I add my new actions. If I do that, refresh it. You see, my contact is here. The same will now open from same. Now Tom Hanks is created. So I can fire a screen flow. I can embed that screen flow inside a record page, Lightning record page, or I can fire it from any action. Okay, very strong, powerful features that you can do. The last item for today is the approval process. Approval process is basically needed when you want to put any record for approval, because you want that record to be validated by your bosses or seniors, because there might be very crucial business processes associated to it. Let us give one process. Here, my process is I want to make sure that the sales representatives do not put a opportunity to close or won. I need the manager to verify before it is closed and won. And it should be based on the approval. If the approval is given, then it will automatically become won. If the approval is rejected, then it will become lost. How can I do that? I will go to the opportunity. Here, if I go to the layout, I will see a button called submit for approval. Let's bring this button. Okay, save. Now, if this button is by default not there, right? So if I go to my account, my opportunities, all opportunities, let's open any of the opportunities. This submit for approval has come. And I put approve. It is showing me no applicable approval process was found, because we have not created the approval process. So button placing is not enough. I have to now create the approval process. I have to go to the approval process. I will now go to the opportunity object, because my approval needs to be done on approval process. I can use a standard Jamstack wizard, very easy. Name is opportunity. Do I need a criteria? Yes, let's put a criteria. It's not needed, but I can. I say, let's only put approval when the stage is negotiated or reviewed. I can you can choose which person to approve, or you can automatically choose it based on some fields of your user object. Okay. So I am using the manual option. Now I am setting the steps. You see, the step 1 is already created for you. So approval step is, if you want to create more steps, you can do that. That means the number of approvals will be more. One person approved, then in the second step there can be even a higher approval. Even then there can be more higher approval. I am only going with one approval step. Here, the final and rejection actions are exactly similar to workflow. So these 4 things you could do in workflow, same thing you can do in approval process. So what I want to do? I want to do an automatic field update. Opportunity should be marked as 1. Which field to update? The stage field, right? What is the value? It should be closed 1. Save. So when I approve, my action would be the field update, changing the state. What is the rejection action? Same. Let's make it closed last. Stage lost. So these are the 2 steps I have defined. One is opportunity 1, one is opportunity lost, and I activate it. Sure. So what will happen now? Let's create a new opportunity. Let's select account, test account. I have created test approval. Save. Close date is mandatory. Stage is mandatory. Let's put it on the prospecting stage, the first stage. Here, if I submit this for approval, will it work? No applicable approval, because there is no criteria. I have to put this on negotiation stage, right? Let's change the stage. Now fire it for approval. There are only one user in this application. Think this has to be my boss. It should be my boss. I should have chosen him and submit this for approval. When I do that, I go to my Gmail. My boss will get a mail like this. Has requested your approval for the following item. I can approve or reject this record. If I click this link, it takes me to that record wherein I can approve, reject, or reassign to some other approvers. If I am not working, maybe somebody else will work. So let's approve this. If I approve it, I go to this test approval and refresh this. Automatically won. Field update. Let us now take it back to by one step and submit it for approval once again. Same approver. I am putting to myself. I am my own boss. I will get another mail. I will click this. This time I am going to reject it. When I reject, if I go back to this approval, this close lost automatically changes to lost because I rejected this. Clear, guys? Quite similar, quite easy. Any questions? Practice this enough. If we do not have any questions, that is all for today. We have recorded this session. We'll post it after some time on the link. Please go through and learn flows very well. When you're done, ask Sanchita for the assignments. She will send the assignments to you so that you can practice. Flows will be absolutely critical for your interviews also. Correct?
Yes, sir.